Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey, y'all, hold on, because I'm saying I'm having mic issues. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on with my mic. Why we having issues? Hello, can you? Child, this is live, and now I'm like, can you hear me? I'm hearing something. I was like, don't tell me I gotta press hard on this damn thing through the whole damn show. I may have to get a damn new mic. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show where we basically talk about all things going on in celebrity news, pop culture, hot topics, all that good stuff. So if that's a show for you, definitely stick around because we have a lot of tea to spill today, including we got this Lil Nas XT that we got to talk about, plus this Justin Bieber impersonator situation. I thought it was a cackle, so we're going to talk about that. Plus, we have some tea regarding Justin and Hailey Bieber's strained marriage. Britney Spears, again, acting a hot mess. DDG and Halle Bailey, they've come to a resolution regarding Halo and all that other good stuff. Cardi B might be pregnant again. Disney is trying to win back Gen Z, so we're going to get into that. Katy Perry is going through it because she tried to pull a little stunt with her lawyers or whatever the case is. The judge called her out on it regarding this whole case surrounding the dude with the the old man that she was trying to buy the house from or something or another. And he has Alzheimer's and that whole drama surrounding that. And she's throwing money, like suing him because she's saying that there was some damages done or whatever the case is. So we'll get into that. Plus, we have some Blake Lively tea. Apparently, she got a new gig and everybody was roasting her online for it. Plus, we have some stuff regarding this Drag Race casting news. So there's someone who works on the show who's a casting director for a lot of reality shows. She's spilling tea regarding how they cast the show. So we have all that and a whole lot more. So before we get to those topics, if you please do me a solid and hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and also be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. After the show, I will be putting in timestamps I probably won't be able to do it after the show because after this, I'm going straight to the gym. And then after that, I got the Mayhem Ball tonight. So yes, I'm working the Lady Gaga concert. So I'm probably not going to have time to do it until like late tonight, but the timestamps will get put in eventually. I'll say that. Okay. So thank you all for your love and support. I'm like, this is going to kill me because I literally have to like, hello? Hello? Can y'all hear me? Well, this is going to drive me crazy with the volume. Why did it turn down? I can hear something. Okay, I had to turn it up a little bit. I don't know. There's something going on with the mic. Can you hear me? Hear me? Can you hear me? He said, for all of us, Shane and Ava Max, I'm glad Rolling Stone allowed her to talk. Well, I'm gonna have to check that article out and probably bring it when I come back on Sunday or something or another. But in the meantime, I'm having issues with my microphone and it's driving me crazy. So anyway, without further ado, we probably gonna be having. I'm gonna power through this mess. Because I was gonna be like, I'm gonna unplug the whole mic and just start screaming at the screen. But then right after that, I'm gonna have to order a brand new one. But anyway, let's get into the show. Yeah, because well, thank you for sending me that the non-pay one. Because the thing with Rolling Stone, they always want me to. They always want you to like, depending on the article, they want you to pay and all that other stuff. I was like, I ain't doing that. There's another website that does that too. That irritates me. Billboard, they do that too. But anyway, without further ado, let me hit my banner and let's get into the show. So let's talk about Lil Nas X, who's going through it right now. Because yeah, so yesterday it came out that Lil Nas X apparently was seen walking down the street, strutting, pumping, to my feeling like pussy, feeling like cunt, feeling like pussy, feeling like cunt. Like he was doing all this mess in the street, and everybody was like, "Is Lil Nas X trolling?" Because every time Lil Nas X comes out, he's always, everybody thinks he's joking around, he's trolling, he's always up to some mess. But when I was watching the video, I was like, I think he's for real. I don't think he's faking it. I don't think this is any kind of stunt regarding what's going on. Like he's trying to. They said he's coming out with a new album. I haven't heard anything regarding a new album or anything of that nature that's supposed to be happening. So I can't tell you whether or not he actually is coming out with a new album. But the issue that I think, well, from what people were telling me, because I don't really be following him online like that, but I've had friends who have come in and sent me things. They were basically saying that he has been kind of alluding to that he's been going through. The hell? My whole show is falling apart. Jesus Christ. Yo, this show is starting to. This is getting me tight, but I'm gonna still power through. But anyway, so they were alluding to the fact that he's going through some things and all this other stuff that he was kind of alluding on social media that he's been struggling and all this other mess that's been happening with him. And then I was looking. Then I decided to go on his Instagram, do a deep dive. There was some videos that was kind of alluding to either he's on drugs or he's having some sort of a mental breakdown, a la Mariah Carey back in the day when she did uh TRL. Remember when she was on TRL? She came out with the ice cream truck and the gold go-go shorts and all that other stuff. So yeah, so they were saying it was something like that. But I have the couple of the videos. I have one of the videos where they actually show that he walked up in some hotel and hung out in the lobby, had a drink of water, was fanning himself, and then it kind of led up to later on with him in the white tidy whities and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna play all them videos, courtesy of TMZ, and then we'll come back and talk. Please hold. Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. I forgot to close that. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Oh, what the hell? Now nothing wants to fucking work. So then he started early in the morning pumping. He had clothes on. Then here's a jeans and a shirt and a cowboy hat pumping. And yeah, so there was that video of him. TMZ, TMZ get everything. TMZ got everything but the damn mugshot because apparently the word on the curb is Lil Nas X is still locked up in jail for putting paws on a police officer. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so there's that. Where you see him fanning because Miss Mama's is hot. Still fanning. Pat your weave, ladies. Pat, pat, pat your weave, ladies. I wonder if anybody recognized him. They probably did. But I guess it's like, when some of them hotels in LA, I don't know if they necessarily do it out here in New York. But it's like if you thirsty, you can come stop in there, sit down a little bit, get you a little something to drink and relax. I guess those are like for people that's in the hotel. But from some of the word on the street is that Nazi is broke and he's been living out of Airbnbs. And he's been dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes because the music's not selling. And I really feel like he's been going through it since, the J. Christ thing, I don't want to get into these conspiracy theories about blood sacrifice and stuff, because that's always the thing that certain people like to go to. But like, oh, this business and blah, 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 blah. It's like, not everybody's all up in that. The fact of the matter is, Lil Nas X is like in his early 20s. He got success really quick. And with all that success that came, this is, he's stressed out and dealing with a lot of that. And then when you got a lot of vipers, I'm going to pause it there because that's the end of it. And you got a lot of people that's in the business that don't have your best interests at heart. So then we go to this video when he was strutting down the street in a pair of tidy whities carrying.
Nah. Hey, don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. No, go ahead, babe. No. Go ahead, babe.
Go ahead, babe.
No. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. Da. Hey, for everybody coming to the party.
I can't tell you how many times I watched this video. And I don't mean to laugh, but it was just so damn funny.
I am serving you, and you better be at that party tonight. Oh, yes. Yes, get my good side. Every side. Yes. Boom, cat towel. Pop. Ooh. Sean Bankhead taught me that one. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Batty boy wants to give it to me, baby. Batty boy wants to give it to me, baby. That's gonna be a beautiful sunrise. Give me that phone so I can throw it. I want to throw it far away so you never see it again. I don't like phones. Don't miss the party tonight. Why are you still here? You need to be telling everybody about the party, girl. What's your problem? Break it down.
All right, so there's basically there's that. Now, one of the things now y'all already know I don't particularly care for Azealia Banks, but she did say something that had me cackling. Now she got on the social media and was like, "At least my bitch panties was clean and fresh. Y'all can laugh all y'all want. She said my twice. She said my daughter coochie clean." So I did cackle at that. I was like, even though I can't stand her problematic, homophobic, transphobic ass, Azealia, you get a for that one. But seeing these videos or whatever, it's like I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of stuff, like I said, that was going on with him. But then when I told you I went on his Instagram, there was this video. I told you I got all the receipts. And then one of my friends was like, yes. I'm like, he's back. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? First of all, he's a mess. He's using a tambourine. They said that he'd been like rearranging the furniture in his house, and the house look a mess. Like what you can see, I'm like, where the furniture? So, and them these got different.
I want to live. I want to fight. I want to live a wondrous life. I want to go. I want to thrive. life. Oh, what a 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 life.
Okay, y'all got the gist. But you want to know something? First of all, I'd have been tight if whoever was downstairs and I had this heifer upstairs singing off key. Man, the voice wasn't bad, but and you banging on that tambourine or other stuff, that'd piss me off. But I feel for him right now. Like I feel like, well, I've heard like he's still in jail. He hasn't presented bail. The article, yeah. So when I was when I was showing you all of that stuff, that was like from People Magazine, where it was basically saying like, yeah, he was like strutting around a hotel around 1:30 in the afternoon. And then he went and got the glass of water, as y'all saw. And then they said by the time he was arrested, wandering around Ventura Boulevard early Thursday morning, he had stripped down only his shoes and the tidy whities. And then they said that eyewitness allegedly heard Mumble was going to a party, but also put an orange traffic cone on his head. When police approached the songwriter around 5:50 in the morning, the rapper allegedly charged at the cops. He punched one officer twice in the face and was taken in custody and transported to a local hospital for a possible OD. And then reps for him have yet to return Page Six's request for comment. And so, like I said, well, they said that he's currently being held in Van Nuys jail, where he was booked on Thursday at 11:22 a.m. with a misdemeanor charge of battery on a police officer. So I guess out of the whole thing, the good thing is he got a misdemeanor, which basically means he'll just have to pay a fine and probably do a couple of days of community service. I don't know how many days they're going to give him, but I caught a charge one time for assault once upon a time, a couple of years ago. And I just ended up having to pay a $500 fine. And I did I think 3-4 days of community service. So that's all he'll probably be able to do. So I'm rooting for you, Lil Nas, to get it together. I know it's just it's hard out here in these streets. Like between Lil Nas X getting arrested and the drug use, and then you got Tamar talking about how she lost teeth and wound up in a pool of blood, which some people are speculating she was either doing drugs or was drugged and hanging out with the wrong crowd, which of course y'all know we already did that story the other day where Funky Dineva got dragged in a situation and Funky was trying to basically backpedal and pussy pop in his words, because he liked to use that phrase out of the situation. So I had nothing to do with that. And then the disrespect was you referring to your friend as that lady. It's like, bitch, I got a name. Refer to me as him. And then on top of that, then we got, I don't know if y'all heard this story. They had something with Tyler. Yeah, make me sweat, make me holler, and she had to be sweating and hollering because apparently she was at a party and they said that she either passed out or some or another. But there was video that's floating around. I got it. I'm gonna show y'all of her being carried out of a facility into a vehicle by probably like her security. Hold on. Because I was like, shit, I found this on the Twitter. Hold on, and so watch closely because I'm gonna play it again. So there you see the man taking her, putting her in the back seat of the vehicle. Let's run it back in case you missed it. And you see him in the back seat holding her. I was like, if whatever's going on with her, like take her to the hospital. First, when you got the security, they trying to block. We already seen the situation as it went down. So do something about helping her out or whatever the case is. So I don't know. The kids out here these days, they struggling. They're going through it. And nobody knows what a lot of these artists are going through. Like, yes, it is very stressful out here. You have a team of people that you got to support. His music ain't been popping in a minute. Like, he's been doing a lot of trolling and everything, but no shade. The music ain't been living up to what it needs to be living up to. And I feel like at this point, Lil Nas X is trying to figure out who he is as an artist. I've been said, leave the hip-hop stuff alone. The hip-hop community is vehemently homophobic. They ain't got time for the gays or whatever the case is. And just go. I mean, you have a good enough following where just go and do like hyperpop, house, dance, like go in that genre. The Europeans live for Lil Nas X, and he got a good community of people out here, like a loyal fan base. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets it together. He does come from an addiction background. His mother is a junkie. Somebody went and exploited. I remember seeing the videos years ago of somebody exploiting his mother on social media, and she's out there on drugs or whatever, and people started dragging him. I think it was like maybe a couple of years ago, and I think it was even brought up. Wasn't it brought up in his documentary, the Montero documentary that was on HBO? Where people was blaming, why don't you go help your mother? Why don't you do this? Well, it's like, first of all, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. And what you're not going to do is sit up here thinking just because I'm a celebrity and you think you know how much money I got in my goddamn bank account, that I have to all of a sudden go give my mother money to go help her get her life together. And it's like, mind your business, number one. And number two, it's just like, what makes you think he hasn't tried to help her to no avail? So when you come from an addiction background and the pressures of the industry and temptation and so many people that be in your circle and the type of people, the company you keep, especially being down in LA. I remember when I was living in LA at one point, I was not saying I would have ever went down that dark downward spiral, but I would see it a lot. And especially if you in LA, and I lived in Los Angeles for about a year. I was like, nope, I'd rather come back to New York. I need to be around people who genuinely, like real ass people and people who genuinely care. I can't be around this fakeness, this phoniness. I'm not trying to get caught up in things that just so that way I could be a part of a group or a part of a team or whatever the case is. Nope. I'd rather just come back to New York and be around real ass bees and all that other stuff. So Lil Nas X, I'm praying for you. I hope you get well. I know some people, like I said before, is out here thinking that you faking it or it's a stunt. Everything ain't a damn stunt. But I guess when you do so many of the things over and over and over again, it's hard for people to deter whether or not you for real or it's a stunt. So hopefully you get the help you need. Hopefully this is a wake-up call because you're still relatively young, that you haven't hit that rock bottom, but we see the signs as there. So I hope there's people in your circle that's definitely going to take care of you. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Lil Nas X and all the latest? I'll definitely be following this story as it develops because I know it's still fresh. This is all the latest that's come out right now. And so by the end of the weekend, I'm sure we'll hear more. Oh, excuse me. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Oh yeah, I saw that one. He said, I heard the news that he got arrested before I saw the video, so I believed it until I realized he started posting again 2 days ago, and the video does look staged. Happy Rainbow Day. The coffee sessions. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think the reason why what happened, my mic probably acting up because when I was putting everything together and I was running around doing so much stuff, putting the show together early in the morning. So now I got to hold on to a piece thing to make it work. I know my fingers going to be killing me by the time the show is over. So, I went to Dunkin' Donuts, had to give me some breakfast real quick. And then I didn't even go and make sure my audio and everything was working before I came on the line. So yeah, I'm probably after this, I'm gonna have to order a microphone real quick and take it from there. The fake Justin Bieber is the biggest story to me. Well, we're gonna talk about the fake Justin Bieber. That was a cackle when I saw that. I've never seen the hotel video, but him fanning himself right in front of the camera. He knew what he was doing. You said Britney envy. This would have been more believable if there were more videos of him and if the underwear wasn't. Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, I mean, he probably in the early days, because when he really hit that rock bottom, them underwear is gonna have like skid marks on it. Like it's gonna be all kinds of colors, brown, green. First of all, it's hard to keep tidy whities white, which is why I don't wear white underwear. I always prefer my clothes dark or whatever. I don't even like wearing white shirts. The only time you will see me wear a white shirt is like if I'm on camera. Because I'm like, if I'm doing, I can wear a white shirt on the show. But if I'm like out in the street, I know how I am. I could be clumsy at times. And if I'm eating something, I already know I'm going to get a stain on my clothes, whatever the case. I hate being paranoid to where it's like I have to make sure that I keep my white clothes clean, which is why I don't really wear white clothes. I prefer all my clothes dark. But I ain't like nasty ass Ray J where he was talking about the only reason why he wear dark drawers because of the skin mark situation. I'm like, yeah, because you straight and you straight boys don't know how to wipe y'all ass properly. I remember he had a pet cat. I hope his kitty is safe. It's funny how you care more about the cat than him. He said if this is a stunt, he would receive more backlash. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, don't play around with mental health. So I choose to believe that he's going through some things. So I don't want to think the worst of the worst. So I'm trying not to go there with that in regards to that whole situation. Cause yeah, if you fucking around with mental health, trust and believe, you really ain't gonna come back from all of this. He definitely needs to go to pop. Even Nicki got that memo. That's why I said, like, first of all, Nicki Minaj's pop songs, even though some people, we know she could rap, but her pop songs, when she be performing like Starships and all that stuff, the kids go ape shit. So the smart thing would be to him is to go pop. Leave the hip hop alone. We know you can rap. We know you have that ability, but you're a crossover artist. You don't need to go after the I don't even know who is like you don't need to go for the Lil Boosie set. Because they not, some of them be in the closet quiet as it's kept, but they're not the ones that's out here supporting your music. Pop music outside Lady Marmalade. Even the extended collaboration Can't Hold Us Down was very R&B and urban based. Yo, why does thing keep falling out? Speaking of Christina, there's a rumor going around, and I don't know if I believe it, because Cleveland sent it to me. It said some story that Jennifer Lopez and Xtina have a joint single coming out together. I don't believe it. First of all, Jennifer, you really want to be doing a duet with Christina Aguilera? You already know how she do with them runs. You want to embarrass us. So I don't know if I believe it. But if it do come out, then I'll be like, okay. If the Major Trades announce it, it came with some source that I ain't never heard of. So I'm like, I don't believe it. Not the donuts. And happy 10 years to the Indie Pop Bible. I do love that album. I might listen to it today, but I'm going to listen to the Ava Max album first before I give Carly Rae Jepsen a revisit. The Notorious K.I.M. had a lot of pop appeal. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, when people try to give all that credit to Nicki Minaj and all that, I said, if you go back and you listen to Notorious K.I.M., that was like a mismatch of like hip hop and pop. It still had that street appeal, but Little Kim was definitely vying for that crossover with that album, which I like. And then that's when we started getting like the Barbie references, especially with the How Many Licks video. He said it's the jail piece that made people second guess, but the underwear. I know it's like the gays like, nah, no, none of these queens ever keep they panties that clean. We getting 2 solo little mix albums. Yeah, I saw that thing. I don't know if I don't no shade. I don't really care for Perry all that much. Like Jade is more my speed. Country music sounds saying her voice is much suited. Speaking of pop rap, Doja Cat. Oh yeah, I did hear. I didn't watch it. I sent in a group chat I belong to. I posted the video, but I ain't watch it because I got sidetracked by 50 million other things. So I totally forgot to even watch the video. But I'll get around to it this weekend. All right, y'all. Then let's get into this Justin Bieber story. So apparently the other day, there was a Justin Bieber impersonator that showed up at this Las Vegas nightclub and ran up a $10,000 bar tab and tricked him into thinking he was Justin Bieber. And they said it was at the 5-star Wynn Las Vegas, and LA-based DJ Griffin was performing at XS nightclub. And then he was told that Bieber, who was 31, was in town and wanted to make a surprise appearance during his Saturday night show. And thinking that it was the real Bieber, he let him come up on stage. perform sorry. I think he was lip syncing. But when you in these clubs and stuff, yeah, they audio be janky. So it's like if he got up there and they put the track louder than him, I don't think they would have minded too much. These days, that's what everybody pretty much do. So the guy got up there. I was looking at him like, that ain't Justin Bieber. I'm gonna show y'all the video, but I'm gonna have to mute it because it's music and I don't want to get demonetized. So that was him there. Somebody wrote, "Is it too late now to say sorry?" Then another person said, "This has been cracking me up for days. No cap. Timu Bieber actually crushed it on stage." Not Timu Bieber. So yeah, there you see him. If you really look at him, like you can see they ain't Justin Bieber. I mean, quiet as kept, the boy is kind of cute. I mean, not kind of. He's cuter than Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber look like he ain't washed. He don't be washing his ass every day. Not Diplo up in the comments. Listen, Morgan Page, I just love how this guy had a team. Diplo said, "Damn, we should have stayed on that boat." And now you got Griffin in the comments promoting his music. He said, "By the way, I have a new song out called Higher Power. Justin Bieber is not on it, but it's good, I promise." I was like, okay. But yeah, and it's like, and then so yeah. I just want to show y'all a little bit of that video. This is the guy right here. You can kind of see like I would say he looked better than in a way he looked cuter than Justin Bieber. In a way, he kind of looks like what's his name? David Geffen. No, not David Geffen. David Beckham. I don't know why early years David Beckham, not David Beckham now, but he looked like David Beckham like 20 years ago in that bottom pic that you can see in the little circle. So to go on with this, Griffin, whose real name is Daniel Griffith, confessed that a dark venue and loud music didn't help as he was shown talking to Bieber, not Bieber, and his team. They said, so his team said he wanted to perform sorry. Little did I know I was about to be sorry. Awkward. And then he also said the place went wild. After 4 minutes and 27 seconds of what sounded like Justin Bieber, I found out the worst news imaginable. The DJ is then seen walking away from the set happily saying, "That was insane. That was actually insane," before someone said completely fake. His jaw dropped to the floor as he said, "No way." And his friend insisted, "I swear on my life." It then cut to Griffin in his hotel room saying, "I literally thought he put on a lot of weight since the album dropped." And that's a dead giveaway. When you look at the guy, Justin Bieber is way slimmer. And is it me, or does Justin Bieber have way more tattoos than this guy does? So, yeah, they also said the guy, hold on, did they say what his real name was? Because I might have skipped over that. Dylan Desclos is his name, and he's 29 years old. And yeah, they were talking about how like he ran up an almost $10,000 tab during their stunt, which the fake Bieber eventually paid as he was kicked out. So he had the money. And they said he was posing for selfies and browsing stores with his security guards. Yeah, because I seen an earlier video where he was in the store shopping or whatever. He comes out, people posing with him and stuff. And I guess people just be so excited to see a celebrity. They just be thinking anybody's anybody. I said, no, y'all need to look a little harder. And then Hailey Bieber even ran into this guy like a year ago and posted that she was scared. So the nightclub responded to the prank. And they said after an elaborate and multi-step ruse, by him and his advanced team, a Justin Bieber impersonator was granted access to the XX stage. As soon as the error was recognized, he was removed from the resort and denied future entry. So now you've been kicked out the club because you can't even get in. My little Chris Brown reference. So it's like, yeah, he's been kicked out of the club. He's no longer allowed up in there. But here's the thing. This to me is way more funny. I hope he doesn't get in trouble because I know like impersonating people is a felony or whatever. But this is entertaining, and this is probably the most y'all ever gonna get from the actual Justin Bieber getting up there performing. Because you know Justin be having all his little issues, his Ramsey Hunt syndrome, and all that other stuff, and you know the things he going through in his personal life, which I'm gonna get into that story after this one. But the impersonator, I'd rather y'all just like have the impersonator get up there and perform and give y'all what you need to be, what y'all be wanting from Justin Bieber, because Justin Bieber be half-assing his shows. He be canceling the middle of his tours. Like, he be in the middle of his tour and be canceling the rest, and y'all be upset. So I ain't mad at the impersonator. So I say, well, this is say what do you guys think of this story regarding Justin Bieber's impersonator, running up a tab and being a menace all throughout Vegas. I heard that he was at multiple clubs doing this before he got caught. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay. There was a popular Stan account that posted a How Many Legs video last week, and it got 4K likes. Zoomers are saying she was a hello. It's funny how people finally starting to give Little Kim her flowers, and much deserved them. They look the same because I thought the circle pic was the real Bieber. No, all three pictures was the impersonator. Oh yeah, I heard about that story. I just didn't care enough to talk about it. Scared he would leave her for Madonna during the Evita filming. Yeah, because Madonna was trying to get up in that man's pants. Back when she did Truth or Dare, she was like trying to throw herself in him, and this was before he got with Melody Griffin. That's when Antonio was with his first wife. I was listening to Emotion all day yesterday. Super excited. Yeah, I can't wait till that comes out too. That comes out when? Next month? People slept on that damn record. People slept on Carly Rae, but I guess what it was they wanted they wanted Call Me Maybe. And the Call Me Maybe song went viral, but she wanted to show y'all that she was more than just that little song. I think it's kind of like Rebecca Black with Friday. Like, she wants to prove to y'all that she's more than just that song too. And I like Rebecca Black's album. Is it an album or EP? I can't remember. I think it's an album. And she performed it because she was I think she still is the opening act for Katy Perry. So Rebecca Black's thing was good. I would love to see Carly Rae Jepsen, but I feel like she's gonna be one of those girls that do smaller venues, which is fine. She knows her situation. Everybody don't need to be selling out arenas. She had her little gay backup dancers up there. All right, y'all. So now, speaking of the Biebs, let's talk about Justin Bieber. So there's this story that came out via multiple sources. I think it was Us Weekly and a bunch of others about Justin and Hailey's relationship, how it was on the rocks. But they were saying, like, since he released his new album Swag, which I don't really be hearing a lot of people talking about that record. They said ever since he released Swag, things have settled, like the tension between them. And it's probably because while she's busy at home raising a child, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, their son's birthday is today, Jack. I think he turned like a year old or something or another. So they're good, I get that. Well, according to the reports, they're in a good space. So the intense focus and emotional toll of creating new music had put a strain on their marriage, a source close to the couple told Us Weekly in an article published on Thursday. The insider explained that Justin gets completely consumed and shuts everything else out when he's creating new music in the studio. The model, who's 28, and the pop star, who's 31, reportedly feel the weight has been lifted after Justin's seventh studio album debuted last month to positive reviews. Saying, quote, there's a sense of relief on both sides, the source explained. Justin's behavior has been more relaxed. He feels a lot of pressure hanging over him and has been in a better mental headspace these last few weeks. He is very happy there have been positive reviews of the album and that fans like it. The Roskin founder has allegedly been very patient with her husband amid his mental health struggles and takes it day by day. There's still work to be done in their marriage, the source clarified, but they're in a much better place. Now, since the release of the album, the couple has escaped to their favorite vacation spot in Idaho with their son, Jack Blues, where they have reportedly been able to finally reconnect more. The sorry artist's child with Hailey will celebrate his birthday. As I said, today is his birthday, August 22nd. So Justin sang about his marriage struggles on several songs on the album, including his hits Daisies and Walking Away. Wait, these songs are hits? Because I ain't been hearing nobody releasing no kind of singles from Justin Bieber, or am I bugging? Or have I not been paying attention to the charts or whatever? But I feel like I haven't heard anything about whether or not he's been releasing songs from the album and they've been hits. All I knew was like he just pulled the Beyonce and just dropped an album online, a surprise album, and people was eating it up, what the fans were. So they said the Grammy winner also sparked concerns for his well-being after flaunting his alleged drug use. However, Hailey denied that she and Justin were heading towards Splitsville. And I like the fact that, at the end of the day, these two are still young. They're trying to work out their relationship, that it's like, for better or for worse, we're going to work it out. Like, we can go to therapy, whatever, or whatever type of tools that they're using to work on this marriage. But I agree with one of the things I totally understand as an artist, and when you're in a space of you're being creative, it's like, yeah, I'm shutting everything out. I ain't got time. No shade. I ain't got time for the kids. I ain't got time for my relationship. I need to be left alone because I'm in that space of like the universe and all the things it's speaking through me, and I'm the vessel. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like the universe is sending me these messages and I'm trying to transfer it out into the studio with the producers, with my ideas, if I'm writing a song or whatever is inspiring me at that moment. And that's what I'm mostly focused on, rather than worrying about my other personal things. And it's no shade to the people that I love or whatever the case is. But when I'm in that creative headspace, it's like, leave me alone. And I think that you need to understand it, but I don't think Hailey probably, well, they said she's been more understanding, but she's not an artist. She married one. I mean, if you want to call creating a little beauty line, that's business. That's not being an artist. But whether you're acting and you're one of those method actors, which I'm so glad that Austin Butler recently said that he had Tom Hardy and I think it was Laura Dern, he said, that had talked him out of, like, you don't have to do that whole, oh, I have to really be, like, if I'm going to play like a tortured character, that I have to literally torture myself. I was like, all that method, that's a bunch of bullshit. These actors always trying to sound like they're so bigger than what it is. It's like, go in, do the part, but leave it on the floor when you're done. Like, you don't have to consume all of that stuff. But I know it takes a lot of bandwidth and a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of stuff in order to make it work when you're being in that creative space of being a musician. So I totally understand that. I understand like what they're going through. And I'm glad that they're according to the story, I won't say going strong, but they're at a place where they're on the same page and they're working things out and they're not like, trying to rip each other's head off. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Excuse me, regarding Justin and Hailey Bieber, and talking about the tea behind their strained marriage and the fact that now that the album is out, they're able to, work things out amongst each other. I do wonder if he's going to tour this record. Probably not, but it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. On point, so she'll be able to make that court date that I'm about to talk about when I get to her story. You said, Cyborg, did you see Chris Evans? No, somebody needs to send me that picture. ASAP. Chris Evans in a jockstrap. Child, don't let me see him in that thing. I'm about to throw his legs at the Jesus and go to town. You said Bill Maher is going, oh, please. Who gives a fuck about Bill Maher? I can't stand him. I used to like him, but he's such a goddamn clown. And you said homophobic Chris Ruffo. He's a music video director and a few others before leading the crusade to destroy DI. This is the same man that mad because he can't say nigga and likes to fuck black women. But this is all this crap that he's doing. Bill Maher's a clown. You said his song Daisies would be considered a hit. I remember when his surprise album dropped, a bunch of my girlfriends in his hometown were posting about it, and they're just all casual music fans. So that's probably where it's been going well, like it's viral, but I haven't heard anything about Jackie Warner. I remember Bravo being a gay lifestyle network slammed her ex-girlfriend, calling her violent. Please. First of all, Jillian, man-looking ass. Don't nobody believe that tea from her. So the only thing I feel bad about with Jillian Michaels is that little black child that she adopted. I don't like the fact that how you out here denying slavery and all this other stuff, but you raising a black kid. And that's why I be, and no shade, I'm like, if you are going to go out there and adopt a kid and bring him into your home, that's fine. But don't be up in here adopting someone of a different race and then trying to whitewash history and not teaching black children about their culture, about the things about this country, which Donald Trump, moronic ass, is all upset about because of the museums, and people get mad because, oh, y'all want to say that America is horrible and all this other stuff. There are parts of America that are great, and there are parts of America that's horrible. We're not going to sit up here and act like that the genocide of the Native Americans did not exist, how this country was founded. We're not going to sit up here and deny the fact that slaves were brought over from Africa into the United States, and the history behind that, of the building a White House and you know, all the different things that comes with the history. We could talk about the good, but we got to talk about the bad too, because when you see all of those sides, what it does is we prevent history from trying to repeat itself. So you only want the things that you feel is so great, or what you want people to learn, to be taught. Because when this happens with black kids not learning their history, we end up in a situation with Amanda Seals sitting with a bunch of damn black conservatives who look dumb as hell on camera, on Jubilee. That's what you end up with when you dealing with black people that don't know their own damn history and the bullshit that they out here spewing. And then Amanda looking at them like what the hell? Like, I couldn't even finish that video because I'm just like, y'all already know I have low tolerance for stupidity, but me actually sitting there watching, I'm like, there's no way in hell that people literally think like this. That this is like really in your brain and you spewing that shit out your mouth. Like, it's just hard to believe that. But anyway, I don't want to go on a political rant. Let's get into this mess. Let's talk about Britney. So Britney's in the news again, you know, after the other day when they were showing her messy house and she was singing, she said she was singing Prince. I don't know who that was, but damn sure was. Child, if Prince was alive, he'd have gave that face that he always looks whenever them people be getting up on stage and be doing tributes to him with his music. And then you know that look he be giving? Oh, he would have gave Britney that. Stop. So, the Princess of Pop, the former Princess of Pop, because she ain't really the princess no more. If you ain't putting out music, you're about to be dethroned. But she took the Instagram to post footage of herself enjoying a day on a boat, which was anchored in the middle of the crystal clear ocean. The selfie style clip began with Spears, who was sporting a green string bikini with yellow piping, dancing seductively as carried out, you know, the song that Justin Timberlake, it was a Justin Timberlake song, and Timberlake produced it. So I do have the video. I had to go and make sure that I left it open because, you know, Britney loves posting things and deleting them. So I had to leave it and make sure. Hold on.
Jump in the water there. Can I jump in the with you? Look at this man out here in this water. Look at us. Sorry, I'm a nerd. We went snorkeling all day yesterday in the water. This is like Turks and Caicos.
This is a beautiful spot. You can see that.
I was like, I didn't want to keep it going too long because, you know, when you dealing with situations like demonetization, and I wanted the music to get in too much, so I had to, you know, that's why I decided to pause it. But anyway, so it's like, where is the? Oh, thank you, because I was trying to. I don't know. It's like when my microphone acting a fool now it's like I'm like forgetting how to do everything on here. But anyway, so what the hell was she saying? Because she was, it was like, girl, what is that voice? It's kind of like remember if you've seen the end of Friday the 13th when it got to the third act and she discovers all the bodies and she comes across Miss Voorhees and she's like, come to find out she was saying, who are you? That's what Britney sounded like. It was like, girl, what was that accent, number one? And she always does like these weird little accents or whatever. And so she basically said that she went snorkeling and all this other stuff. Yeah, they said, I guess what she said was, me and this man are out here in this water. Look at us. Sorry, I'm a nerd. And then he goes and says, it's okay. And then she stepped out of the frame. They said that we went snorkeling all day yesterday. This is like Turks and Caicos. The man began to say something about the beautiful place before the video stopped. Spears used the same accent in a recent video and showed her dancing around a messy California home. Someone went on and said she really isn't doing well. One of the many worried netizens lamented as another wondered, God, what's happening to poor Britney? Is this the price of fame? The Grammy winner famously broke free of her allegedly abusive 13-year conservatorship in 2021 of November. So people feel like that mental, emotional, and physical damage done during that time has had lasting effects, which we have talked about on this show. Like, I've said that because remember, they put her on lithium at one point. I think they were also doing like frying her brain. You know, like when they doing the gay conversion therapy. So not saying that they was trying to convert her to being into dick, because one thing we know about Britney, she loved the peen. But with all that being said or whatever, I feel like they were doing, what was it, electroshock therapy? That's what it's called, like electroshock therapy. They were doping up on a lot of drugs, and like over the years when you over medicate it and all that other stuff, that does have long lasting effects. And I think that's what is happening to her, is like her brain is fried. And I don't think there's any recovering from that. So Brittany out here living her best life. I understand we're all concerned, but if she don't have people around her that have her best interest at heart and are trying to protect her, then what can we do? Like, there's nothing we could do at this point. It is what it is, and we're just gonna have to let Brittany be Brittany. And that's all I gotta say on that. So I'll say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Do you think? And funny enough, she actually closed out, like she turned the comments off because she probably knows that. Y'all about to come out here and read me and start putting all kinds of stuff in there, and she ain't trying to hear all of that right now, which is why she disabled the comments, which I always say is a lot of you artists need to start doing that, like disable your comments and all the other stuff. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Or is it that, because it has been speculated, especially from some people that watch this show, that Britney is trolling? She knows that this gets her a lot of attention when she's on camera doing weird stuff, and the dancing in her house, half naked, the nip slips, the going on the thing and doing the weird accents and all this other stuff. Like, she knows it gets her a lot of attention. So a lot of people feel like that this is probably just Britney trolling, that she knows this was going to get y'all talking. And then, and then people like me talking about it on this show. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Not bizarre world. If Britney is happy, I'm happy. That's what I said. Look, at this point, it's just like, what can we do? I mean, and then she probably got, when Kevin Federline's thing comes out, and then people are going to be making comments about that. We'll get to that bridge when we cross it. But I don't think anybody's really that excited for the pamphlet that comes with his thing. Oh, speaking of pamphlets, or even though it feels like one, but I forgot to bring it in here. But the new book from the Scream book, I did not realize how small it was. Like, it's a paperback, but it's small. I have to bring it on Sunday. And I don't want to get up right now and go run in the other room and get it, but I'm gonna bring it out on Sunday and show y'all the size. But I was relatively surprised at how small the book is, and they don't even have that many pictures in there. It got, like, in the middle of the book, there's like a couple of photos from like past films, and then it shows like the house that Sydney lives in the new movie and a bunch of other stuff. So, oh, I said Brittany, Sydney. I'll send you a New York article, but it spells trouble for the Democrats. They refuse to talk to the people, having Kamala say, go to my website. Funny enough, I've heard that she has been kind of running around speaking to the people and all this other stuff, because I think she's trying to run in 2028. Girl, ain't nobody voting for you, just like we ain't voting for Gavin Newsom. Like, Gavin Newsom's out here, yeah, it's cute or whatever that he's showing a little fight and he's trolling the Republicans the same way that Donald Trump has been doing. And I find it hilarious that you have Fox News about, oh, it's childish what you're doing. I'm like, so for the past 10 years, when Donald Trump has been doing it, y'all ain't had that same energy. Like, at least have the same energy with that. But I do feel like at the end of the day, Gavin Newsom is cute or whatever that he's showing a little fight, but you're pretty much be getting a Joe Biden, just younger and way good looking. I mean, Joe Biden's not an ugly guy, but you're just getting a much better looking version of centrist Democrat APAC money taking chill. I can't really say that Gavin Newsom takes money from APAC, so I'm not going to throw that out there. I mean, we know the other people like APAC Shakur, aka Hakeem Jeffries, who's doing absolutely nothing, and people are getting mad because it's like, are you going to endorse Zoran? And you're going to like, fuck him. We don't need his endorsement. All these other people they keep running to, these shills, like the APAC Shakurs and the Chuck Schumers and all these other people, we don't need their endorsement. The man is doing just fine with with the polling and the votes and all the other stuff without there. And he even won his district of Brooklyn, which is like the part of Brooklyn I grew up in, which would be like East New York, Brownsville. So we don't need their endorsement. So let them continue to get their money from these Zionists. Let them continue to collect their money and be slaves to these corporate, overlords. Because we don't need it. We don't need the endorsement. We could do fine without them. Sabrina is because there was like this video that he did, this interview where he was just talking a bunch of nothing. I'm like, the fuck is he talking about? Sabrina is the new Princess of Pop unless the album drops in exact. Oh wait, the album is coming out next week? Plus, if you think avoiding rural America is a good thing and alludes to be anti-family, well, they're going to have to go into a lot of places that feel neglected. And they admit the Democrats are split because, well, we know that it's split. They're all over the place, and they have no plan. They have no plan, no idea. They don't know what they want to do. No, Gavin is playing all those Trump games. He's doing something. They said in a screen Reddit, they said Spyglass has to be pissed they fired Melissa in 2023. Now, 2 years later, the Free Palestine is much bigger and popular. Well, yep, they're dumb. And if they would have kept in the movie, they it probably would have been as big as, it probably would have gotten way more interest. But I feel like because Sydney's coming back in the legacy fandom is going to support this, and I'm hearing good things about the new movie. Especially talking about there's going to be like some sort of a cameo from someone who was in the first 3 movies. And all the other things that I've been hearing about Scream 7. It's getting rave reviews. They're saying Spyglass is relatively happy with the movie so far, which is why they're, I believe, already in pre-production on Scream 8. Fortunately, many aren't woke and media systems all in collusion. So people need to wake the hell up, but everyone should hate. Well, hello. You said live in sundown adjacent town. It's not on the list. And then the whole thing with the gerrymandering of Texas. I said, well, look, Gavin, you said you was going to do this. You going to retrace the maps and stuff for California. You better get to it because now they out here pulling stunts in Texas. Okay, y'all, let's get back into the show. So what we going? Let's talk Halle Bailey and DDG because there's some tea that came out regarding these two because it seems like that they've come to a mutual situation because these two been fighting over the custody of Halo and going back and forth with each other in regards of how the kid is being taken care of and the lack thereof and all this other stuff. Well, they've come to a resolution thanks to the judge, and that's a good thing. So we'll get into the stories and shout out to People. Because they said, according to a court document obtained by People, the Little Mermaid star who's 25 and the YouTuber who's 27 cannot post or share any photographs, images, and or information online of their 19-month-old son, Halo. Saying, quote, for reasons discussed on the record and with no objection from either party, the court orders both parties to refrain from posting, uploading, or disseminating on the internet or social media platforms, photographs, images, and or information regarding the minor child or causing any other person to engage in such posting, uploading, or dissemination, per the document filed by the Family Division of the Superior Court of California in LA. Here's the thing. I don't understand why they've never taken the approach like Katy Perry or Halle Berry, not Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey, you need to listen to Halle Berry. And show the back of your kid's head, blur their face out. Like, you shouldn't be putting your kids' pictures and stuff on. Like, I understand you love your kid, you want to show it off, but the way that this world is, and people hating and envying what you do and all this other stuff, I would not want anybody posting pictures of my kid on social media. So this got me wondering, because I went over on the gram and I seen that they had these pictures and stuff up. Does this mean that she has to actually go through her Instagram with this ruling and remove all pictures of Halo and him, and vice versa? Because I don't know if DDG has pictures of his kid up on social media, but I'm wondering if they have to do that, or if they say from here on out you can't post no future photos. So they said the streamer is permitted to have peaceful contact with Bailey solely to coordinate court-ordered visitation of Halo. The documents state that DDG can visit the toddler for a professionally monitored visitation session every Wednesday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time, as well as every other Sunday during the same time period. So he gets 3 visitations twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday, and then every other Sunday. Now, they said the professional monitor is to be advised and instructed that a primary purpose of the monitoring requirement is to ensure compliance with the court's order regarding social media posting, dissemination of information, and the like, as explained above in this order. The documents explain. People have reached out to both Bailey and DDG's teams for comments about the court decision, but did not immediately hear back. The visitation modification comes after a series of legal disputes between the former couple. Now, in June, DDG requested an emergency hearing and asked the court to restrict Bailey from traveling internationally with Halo, specifically on vacation in Italy, per documents reviewed by People. From what I heard with that is that she wasn't on vacation in Italy. She was actually working on a movie. So maybe it looked like a vacation, but she was working on a film. Now, at the time, he also requested a DV restraining order alleging that Bailey posed an imminent emotional and psychological risk to the minor child based on repeated documented threats of self-harm. He claimed that if Halo were to leave the country, the toddler would be without protections of the court and an emergency intervention mechanisms. A day later, the judge denied DDG's request. Now, DDG's filing came a month after Bailey accused him of abuse and was granted temporary restraining order against him per court documents obtained by People on Tuesday, May 13th. The Color Purple actress detailed alleged incidents of abuse she claims to have endured at the hands of Mr. Granberry, because that's what the G stand for. The former couple's son was also protected from DDG under the temporary restraining order, which was filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court. So they also went on to say that the temporary restraining order required him to remain over 100 yards away from Bailey and Halo at all times, including at Halo's school and Bailey's vehicle. Bailey's request for a restraining order obtained by People detailed several incidents of alleged abuse, with specific incidences dating back to January of 2025, saying, quote, I realized there was no placating Daryl. I cannot allow this abuse any longer. This is what she wrote in the documents. Now, among the allegations made against DDG are that he frequently verbally abused Bailey, often called her a B or evil in front of their son, saying whenever he wishes to cause upset, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans. The declaration continued, he claims I am withholding our son and that I am with other men. As a result, I can receive threats and hate on social media. He seems to try to set up drama for his fans. He goes live ranting about me. And this is another thing, too, that I understand, like, when you're a pundit, and you have a place like for instance, like with me being a podcaster and that sort of thing, and that's kind of like what DDG does. You can go on social media and just start saying a whole bunch of stuff and get your fans all riled up, and then they'll find a reason to go at her and talk crazy and all this other stuff. And then she's got to sit out here and try to find ways of defending herself. So she got to probably turn off the comments on her social media and all this other stuff, and you out here got a platform where you could drag her and dog her. And if there's evidence of that, then that could be used against you in the court of law with this case. So it seemed like she got most of the more of the win came out on Hailey's end, and you basically got visitation. She got full-time custody and you got visitation. So you get your twice a week and your every other Sunday. And no shame, but I think this is actually a good idea, especially with his dumbass brother. Did y'all hear that recent video? I don't even want to. I was like, I'm not even gonna pull this up, but I happened to see the video a couple of weeks ago. His brother. I'm not sick of you incels that like to get on social media just to say dumb stuff just because y'all want to go viral. But this moron goes and says is that guys who get all ready to be in a room full of N-words, because that's like the go-to word that a lot of them like to use, because y'all can't expand beyond your vocabulary. So he goes and says that a bunch of dudes going to a concert is gay. I'm like, what? Like, what kind of foolishness? So apparently it's gay to wipe your ass. Is gay to eat hot dogs. It's gay to go to concerts. So what can you straight people do? And someone going and running around talking about this is gay, this is gay, this is gay. You must be gay. That you sitting here focusing so much on what people out here doing with their life. So having fun is gay too? Because that's what it seemed like. And if going to a concert is gay, which men do go to concerts, women go to concerts. So concerts are only subjecting to women. Guys go with their girls. Guys go to meet girls. Like I remember I went to a concert. No, I went to a concert. I was working a concert. A guy went with his boys. Then there was some girls that was behind them in the back row. Met the girl, was making out with her and everything. So you can meet girls at at these concerts. So the F you talking about, Willis? So these dudes be out here saying dumb stuff, which got me thinking y'all kind of suspect any damn way, because y'all be here trying to dictate and try to put out what you say is or isn't considered gay. Because if that's gay, then it must be gay when a bunch of you dudes be going to sporting situations. So going to a basketball game, going to a hockey game, going to a football game. Guess that's gay too. So good luck to you, Halle. This is why a lot of you girls need to stop laying down with these scrubs. And then you won't have to be dealing with this mess. So I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story regarding the latest on Halle Bailey and DDG, where they can't post their child on social media? I think that's a great situation. Your kids should not be. Celebrities need to keep their kids on social media anyway. They don't have a say-so in their personal business being put on social media, pictures of them and all this other stuff. I can understand if you want, like, paparazzi, you feel like you want to control the narrative because paparazzi is going to get a photo of your kid or whatever. Maybe you need to take the Michael Jackson situation and put masks on your kids or whatever the case is, try to hide them in some sort of way, or have someone else bring your kid out while you do the little picture, red carpet, whatever. Or even like going from, when the press and everybody's outside and you trying to leave from one place to another. Find a way to protect your kid from being seen on something. You're just going to have to get creative. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Let me close all those windows. Let's see what the people are saying. That's what I always say. Be careful when you spread your legs for and have kids with. You girls need to learn how to start. Well, you girls need to start getting like IUDs, making sure your man wear a condom or whatever. Finding ways to even if you're gonna go raw dog, which it do feel better. I ain't gonna hold you. Find ways of not getting pregnant. Or you say Sabrina album comes out next Friday. I'm very interested to see how it'll perform with only one single out. Well, yeah, because I haven't heard that. I haven't really been hearing people talking about man-child like that. So that's a good question. Any thoughts on Millie Bobby Brown? Actually, when I saw that story, I was just like, okay, girl, whatever. It's like, why are you 21 years old? Your man is like, what, 23? Why are y'all adopted? And it's like, you ain't got no eggs that work? I mean, I shouldn't be all up in her ovaries, but still, it's like, I get it. You're an actor. Your career is taking off. You don't want to mess up your body. Then if that's the case, you need to do like Michelle Williams. And I'm not talking about the one from Destiny's Child. I'm talking about Heath Ledger's baby mama. Well, that was her husband because they was married. But Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek and a bunch of other things. She has 4 kids. I didn't even know she had kids outside of Matilda, but she got a husband. She just revealed, I think, on one of the talk shows that she had a son. She used a surrogate, and I get it. It's like when you're a woman of a certain age and you probably have like fertility issues or whatever. Yeah, if you could afford a surrogate, get a surrogate. But why are you at 21 trying to have a kid? And why are y'all even thinking about that? Like especially when we still ain't get the final season of Stranger Things. And then I know you acting doing a bunch of other things. Why bring a baby into the world? But that's what you want to do, I guess, because, well, quiet as it's kept. Some people said that Millie Bobby Brown looked like she 45 any damn way. So with all that alleged work she had done. So, what's it? Not Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah. But look, if you want to be a mother at 21, that's on you. Because I was sitting there like, I mean, my mother, I think, damn, when did she have me? I think she had me like when she was 21. But that was back in the day. That was like the 80s. Y'all shouldn't be thinking like that in 2025. Okay, let's see what else y'all are saying. I seen Carly in concert, and it was one of the best concerts ever, packed and banger after banger. I was saying, everybody be trying to go and think like it's always these big major artists. I'm like, sometimes the smaller artists, they be giving you like the best shows. The ones that have like a cult following, you get real good shows out of them. So I don't think people should ever sleep on like the smaller artists. Roger. Now, speaking of people who need to wear a goddamn condom or put an IUD up in them or something, let's talk about Cardi B, because the word on the curb is Miss Mamas is pregnant again. And of course, it's not Offset's. Allegedly, it's her new man. What's his name? Stephon? I don't know why we want to call him Stephon Marbury so damn bad. But so yeah, shout out to the Jasmine brand for this. So they went and posted a screenshot of something, because the other day she said they was asking if she was pregnant. She was cussing everybody out and all this other stuff about it. Then we started seeing pictures of her. Like at one point, she was getting up from the chair. She had on like a little crop top. It looked like she had a gut. Then there's been pictures and stuff of her walking around where it looked like her stomach is a little bigger. Sidebar, speaking of which, some people think that FKA Twigs is pregnant too, because she posted a picture of herself on a pole in some loose-side heels in a bikini, and the gut was gutting. And you know FKA is skin tea. So she did look like she whipped child, and she whipped child. Okay, I can totally understand her. But at this point, Cardi, girl, like 4 kids, and we have yet to get the second album. But I guess one of the things is she can afford to take care of these children, and that's, I guess, the plus side of it all. But if you have a rebound baby to get back at Offset, like that is not the tea. Especially the rumors going around about Stephon allegedly impregnating another woman outside of you. And then there was this other, so isn't there a story going around? Hold on, let me look it up. There was like some accusation regarding him and some boy that was accusing him of Chris Blake Griffith, that the marketing manager would basically accused Stephon of SAing him. And they said, yeah. So what was it? They said in October of 2024, the entertainment marketing manager, Chris Blake Griffith, has accused Stephon Diggs of SAing him. According to reports, Chris Blake Griffith had also filed a lawsuit against Diggs' younger brother, Derez Diggs, after he attacked him in the elevator to silence him. And I seen that video that it was, and then 2 other dudes went and dragged him out of the elevator after he was trying to close the door. Whatever. So this is why I tell y'all need to learn to take staircases if y'all trying to get rid of away from people. You don't want to see out of that movie Dressed to Kill, where that woman was over here sleeping with everybody in the damn town, and then she went back upstairs to go get her ring, and then the transsexual killer wound up trying to slice her up in that damn elevator. You don't want to be that. You don't want it to be that issue. But anyway, so they said Chris's comment read as a derivative of all this ish is that Stefan tried to drug me and then have sex with me, and I escaped unscathed. Thank you, Jesus, but I now knew his secret, and that didn't sit well with him. Weeks later, after his failed sexual attempt on me, because I don't play like that and never had. Well, child, I was looking at you. I was like, you giving Butch Queen tease. So I don't know if I believe that all the way. Marshawn, Diggs' half brother, realized that I was no longer affiliated with his half brother because he's broke. At this point in time, the rumors began between Stefan and Cardi B were starting to pick up, and many fans accusing the Grammy winner of cheating on her ex-husband Offset with the NFL star. However, neither Stefan nor Cardi accepted their relationship back then and even went on to deny it, which we already know now that they hunching. And so, yeah, there's this picture, because even though I was talking about it, I paused it. But now you see like this picture of Tokyo Tony eyes with this whole situation. And then they posted this where she's like in a fur coat. I had to mute it because it's actually her rapping to her song. And I don't want to get, demonetized, whatever. So yeah, it was like she giving inclination that she might be with child with the belly and all other stuff. And yeah, now with her going around saying, but am I? We know you got the album coming out called But Am I the Drama or something. And you putting this cryptic tweet out, you fanning the flames. So is this a way that you're trying to get everybody's attention? Because, and there's no shade, them singles have flopped so far. Like, we hear them Cardi, like, I like Cardi. I like the idea of Cardi. I like Cardi, the fact that, she's got this impeccable personality. But no shade, the music just ain't been popping. And I don't even think that she has that much, like, people even care enough about wanting to hear her music. I'm like, if you're going to put the music, I'll put the music. And I think it's because she's been gone for so long. And there's been so many girls that have come out that have done better in regards of trying to really fight for this music thing between Megan Thee Stallion. Well, hold on, because I want to hear what she said here. I didn't get this part.
30 weeks pregnant. No, you stupid bitch. I'm just fucking out of breath because I got asthma, not because of that bitch. Shut the fuck up. Always a motherfucker trying to be motherfucking funny in this bitch. Stop fucking being fucking funny in this bitch before you get motherfucking blocked, bitch.
Okay, you cursing too goddamn much for no reason. So she's out here saying she's not pregnant, but some of the people said definitely not my business, but getting pregnant by the fun rebound guy is not recommended at all. And then somebody else posted, can she afford another baby? Yes, she can. Can rebound baby dad afford baby? Yes, he can. Is it our business? No, it's not. Let's celebrate the artist and her success. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if she's pregnant, congratulations. You are, you can afford to take care of the kid because you have the finances to do that. He also does. And if you want to be in a situation where you want to have multiple children by different men, at least the first 3 is by one man. So I'll give her that. At least she has 3 kids with the same baby father, and it was her husband. And she ended up, getting caught up in the moment of wanting to piss off Offset by getting them cheeks clapped by Stefan. Even though allegedly, like I said, that there's rumors floating around that he knocked up another woman around the time that he was with Cardi. Who knows if it was during their relationship or if it was kind of like, he knocked up the other girl, dumped her, got with Cardi, that sort of thing. And people saying that the reason why he and Cardi got together is because this is a way of him trying to push out the rumors regarding the topic that I just talked about with the what was it? The guy, Chris Griffith, who basically said that he found out some tea about Stefan. Stefan was trying to hunch him. And when he denied his advances and he knew his tea, he wanted to beat him up and silence him and try to take his life. And you know how these butch queens are when they don't want their tea getting put out there in these streets. And they're on the low because there's a lot of athletes, there's a lot of rappers, there's a lot of these men that are in this industry that get down with the get down secretly and don't want their souls to be clocked. So if they take it out and they secret and you're going to expose them, they're going to try to take your life, beat your ass, do whatever. It's like when it comes to the trans girls and the homosexuals, they do it. Or it happens all the time. So as I stated before, if Cardi is pregnant, congratulations. I'm like, damn, you ain't even put the album out yet, and already you with child again. But look, she's gonna have to promote this album and everything with that belly if she is. And we can't have no more postponements because you postponed this record long enough. It's been almost a decade since you released your debut album. And I understand, like, I've heard the rumors that there was a lot of cuts that happened at Atlantic. So a lot of people got cut. A lot of the people that was around during Cardi's first album is not there no more. So a lot of the team that she had behind her at the label is not really there. Hence why, I guess she's been having difficulties, as well as Ava Max and all that other stuff. But if that's the case, she's got the money and the wherewithal to really push this music stuff out there. So good luck to you, Cardi. And stop all that damn cussing. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Do y'all think that she is with child based on some of the pictures that y'all may have seen on social media? If so, or if not, let me know in the comments down below. He said these girls' bodies hardly developed. Cardi has a lot on her plate and she allows the trolls to win every day. That's another thing too. I don't know if it's the Libra side, but I was like, yeah, one thing about her, she just always letting every little thing bother her and has to address every little situation when it's talk. Like if people go and speculate and talk, let them talk. It's like, leave it alone. But I think she gets off on it. At the end of the day, no shade. Cardi is a hood booger from the Bronx. So hello. Yeah, so she's gonna keep giving. She's gonna feed into the damn mess. I can't wait till this damn show because I'm definitely gonna have to order a new damn mic. This thing is just working my nerve. All right, y'all. Let's move on with the rest of the show. All right, so we got about 4 more topics left until we're at the end of the show. So before we get to the final 4, if you could please do me a solid, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. So sometime later on today, it's not gonna be directly after the show because right after the show, I have to go. I'm gonna go work out real quick, and then I gotta go work Lady Gaga's Mayhem Ball at Madison Square Garden. So that's where I'm gonna be tonight. So if I have the chance, probably late tonight or early tomorrow, I'm gonna put in the timestamps or the time codes or whatever. So whatever topics you want to check out that tickle your fancy, you could definitely do that. You could do it before I get to it, or you could do it after. All right. So now, without further ado, let's get into this Disney story. So apparently, Disney's going through some things right now, which we kind of have alluded to over the years, where, I mean, for the past couple of months, or maybe even longer than that, where Disney's been struggling a little bit, especially like with the MCU and so many other things that's been going on with the franchise. But apparently, Variety did this big expose, which they have not, Disney has not spoken on. But apparently, what's going on with the situation is that they said that they're struggling to pull Gen Z as, because they've neglected them for the past decade. So the whole Gen Z era, the 13 to 28 crowd, or demographic, they pretty much ignored them. So now that they're not making as much money as they had hoped, they're struggling a little bit. And now they realize we screwed up and we need to pull the young male demographic. So they said Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella aren't the only ones looking for a prince. Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months. Multiple sources tell Variety for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined here by the sources of ages 13 and 28, aka Gen Z. I just wonder that Gen Z is more than just 13 to 28, but okay. So it goes first, duh. Every film studio is looking for better ways to convert young audiences into habitual moviegoers. Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, game-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns. Not the easiest segment to grasp, but what's surprising producers, writers, and other partners in the larger industry is that Disney has been calling for original concepts to lure the demo back to the movies. This is the same Disney whose multi-billion-dollar content engines, Marvel and Lucasfilm, have sated men of all ages over almost 2 decades since the company acquired them. The sources say Disney has been seeking new IP in pitches such as splashy global adventures and treasure hunts, as well as seasonal fare-like films for the Halloween corridor. Well, we do have what is it, like that Marvel Zombies situation that's supposed to be coming out this year, but I think that's it. And then, of course, they have the Punisher TV movie thingy, whatever it is that they're doing. Of course, we got Spider-Man, and then we have Avengers Doomsday and stuff. But that can't be the only thing that they're still trying to lure people in doing. Now, with them talking about that they want to do treasure hunts and stuff, does this mean that they're looking to reboot Indiana Jones? Because at this point, we can't rely on Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is in his 80s. Nobody's trying to see an 80-year-old man swashbuckling anymore. Like, it's time to reboot that franchise and go find a younger Indiana Jones or something or another to get out here. But also, I think like I don't think it was only the COVID-19 thing, and I think this is exactly why, with the whole COVID situation and why you look at the Joe Rogans and so many of these other political people and why a lot of the Gen Zers have kind of gone for Trump is because while they were in the lockdown, they actually reached out and indoctrinated that demographic, which is why they tend to go more for that stuff. They become anti-female, and in a lot of ways and things of that nature. So when it comes down to it, it's like, yeah, y'all need to find ways to market to younger men. But me starting to think back, I'm like, did Disney ever market to the male demographic? Even me growing up, I never was like a Disney kid. I was more or less a Nickelodeon kid. I was never really into Disney like that because I never felt like Disney was for me. Now, there were certain movies that I saw, like The Lion King and things of that nature, but growing up as a kid in a child of the 80s and the 90s, I never felt that Disney was for me. Yeah, we had like Dumbo and all those other movies and stuff, but those were like old cartoons that before my time. So, like I was saying, like I never felt Disney was for dudes. I mean, now that Disney has pretty much bought up every damn thing between the Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all these other things, it's like I don't know what they could do in order to reach the Gen Z demographic. I would just need young guys in that demographic to feel like, have they ever felt that Disney was for them or Disney was marketed to them? So they wound up saying that while 2 insiders say the mandate to recruit young males goes as high as the C-suite, the task primarily has fallen on David Greenbaum, the former Searchlight Pictures co-head, brought on in 2024 to run Disney's live-action film business. The label has been solely lacking in guy-leaning fare, like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which I did hear rumors that they're trying to court Johnny Depp back. And I'm sitting there like, do we need Johnny Depp at this point? I mean, I liked him as Jack Sparrow, but I never felt that the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise was all that. Like, I liked the first 2 movies, but after that, I kind of was just like, I don't care. It fell off for me. And it was never like a franchise that was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go see Pirates of the Caribbean. But I'm hearing like they are looking to reboot or develop a new one. So they said that label has been solely lacking in guy-leading fare for nearly 10 years. Studio insiders say the property is in active development, though not in its last reported iteration involving Margot Robbie. To say something of the lackluster attempt to reboot and hand off Indiana Jones in 2023, which earned $383 million worldwide on a $300 million, oh, that's bad, because the budget was $300 million. It only brought in $383 million. And you already know the marketing cost was probably at least over $100 million. So they didn't even recoup their money. But then again, if you really look at it, that last Indiana Jones movie was not good. A Disney source said that the movies for Gen Z men are a part of the overall strategy across all labels, but no more urgent than any other quadrant. While two insiders say the mandate to recruit young males goes as high as the C-suite. Wait, hold on. Now it seems like they've repeated. Hold on. Okay, so it says that they recently hired, or Greenbaum actually recently hired Daria Sirsak, the savvy former Paramount Pictures co-chief, to assist in his effort. Greenbaum is beloved by talent, but has largely existed in the prestige indie sphere, while Sirsak shepherded films from franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, A Quiet Place, and Smile. Some think the push for this demographic is simply Greenbaum trying to put his stamp on live action, yet numerous power players who spoke with Variety see something ominous in the tea leaves. When the execution is correct, Disney's sweet spot at the movies has been millennials. That generation rapidly consumed classic vault titles like The Lion King, 101 Dalmatians, and Lilo and Stitch. Now they bring the children in droves to see live-action reboots. This film's billion-dollar grossing Lilo and Stitch over-indexed with men and boys. Disney previously said Gen Z is a different story. Well, yeah, because millennials grew up on, like I said, The Lion King was like a movie that I grew up on, 101 Dalmatians, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, those movies basically like the films that I grew up on as a kid. And now that my generation pretty much has children of their own, they're going to introduce their kids to the cartoons that provided them comfort, because now, elder millennials are at that age of nostalgia where it's like you have a family and everything, and you looking back on a lot of the old movies and things that made you feel all excited growing up. So then they also have like a Minecraft movie, was almost made $1 billion. And I also feel like, you know what? They're talking about targeting boys. There's a lot of other networks or companies that are really gearing towards the younger set. Like they were saying, like with Lilo and Stitch, and then you have Sonic the Hedgehog, and then you have a Minecraft movie, which did really well amongst young men. You also have, they're giving, what is it? We got Highlander coming with Amazon Prime Video. They are rebooting Bond. We have Masters of the Universe. So a lot of those those type of franchises that I grew up with, now they're going to be introduced to a younger generation. We have Mortal Kombat coming out. We have Street Fighter in development. Like they started filming that. I started seeing some of the pictures on Twitter regarding the new Street Fighter movie. So it seemed like other studios have been making movies that geared towards guys. And then also, let's not forget, we have Avatar Fire and Ash coming out this year. We got Zootopia 2, although I don't know who cares about a Zootopia. Who asked for a Zootopia sequel? But Avatar, they're going to keep making those. So whether or not people want it, those are going to keep coming out. Now, they said Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed as much on a quarterly earnings call last month, saying the group won't favor existing IP over original material, because they were talking about they were the king of the box office last year, with 2 films potentially grossing the 1 billion mark, which would be Avatar Fire and Ash and Zootopia 2. 4 movies from 4 Disney labels have grossed more than $1 billion in the past 16 months. No other studio has had that in that time frame. So yeah, that's cool or whatever. They're making a lot of money. But like you said, if you're trying to gear things and cater to a younger male audience, what are those programs? Because it's like Fantastic Four didn't really do that well financially. It failed to meet expectations. Because it had great reviews. The critics liked it. The people who went to the movies to see it liked it. I liked it when I went to go see it. It's a good movie, but outside of the core fan base, the core MCU fan base and critics, didn't make a lot of money. And now we have a Mandalorian movie coming out next year. So I don't even know if that's going to do well. First of all, the Mandalorian movie, why would people want to go see The Mandalorian in theaters when we've been watching the past couple of seasons on Disney Plus? Like, make that make sense. So that people are like, now I got to go watch a show that I was seeing in the confines of my own house in a theater? Like, why would y'all do that? So I feel like they screwed up there, but we'll see how that does when it comes out. And then Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was another one that I thought was a good movie. It touched on really important topics like mental health, and when you've subjected your entire life and being to a specific job, and your job just doesn't see it for you anymore. What do you do with yourself? So I just like, though, dealing with a lot of that stuff with the military and mental health and that sort of thing. So I love the themes in that film, and I thought Thunderbolts was great. The problem was just that they were like a B movie cast. Like they're like second rate cast members from other programs, and I just think that outside of, people probably felt that they had to do homework in order to see that movie, even though you kind of really didn't. But when you're looking at people like Bucky and Yelena and Taskmaster and all these other people who came from other things and they're brought together in this one film, people probably felt they had to do homework to see it. But relatively, I enjoyed it. So there was failures with that. And don't even get me started on Captain America: Brave New World. We've already talked ad nauseum about the issues with that damn movie. And so yeah, at the end of the day, it'll be interesting to see like how they work this out with young men and how they plan on luring people. But I don't know. It seemed like everything else, Disney has no idea what the hell they doing in regards to trying to lure people back, especially with, you know, the MCU going through the problems that they're going through. They thought that they could do the same type of mapation of their movies and you know, the whole MCU phases. They thought they could do that with TV. And it was like, no, TV is a whole different animal than making MCU movies. And they should have followed the same formula. You could still like gradually change things and do stuff, but you should have followed the formula that worked for your multiverse and all that other stuff. So they've been screwing up, and they're trying to work themselves back to getting things back on track. And so far, it's been a disaster. So I know that's why they're focusing wholeheartedly on hoping and praying that Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, and the new what do you call it? The new the Doomsday movie is actually going to get the back on track. Sidebar, I heard some tea, and this is from Jeff Snyder. Shout out to him, who also broke this story yesterday that Nicolas Cage is in talks to do. Oh my God, what is the name of that show? Fuck, I just forgot the name of it. But he's in talks of doing that show on True Detective, the upcoming season of True Detective. He broke that story, and then all of a sudden, True Detective season 5. So he's supposed to be in talks of doing that. All the trades started breaking that story around the same time, didn't run him his credit. The only one that did was the Hollywood Reporter, but Variety was like, they heard from multiple sources. So they probably all, you know, run in the same circles, hear the same sources, and all that other stuff. But I forgot where I was going with that. So yeah, so he went and said something or another about that Robert Downey Jr., they had to allegedly go in and do 3 weeks of reshoots because there was a sequence where they had a stand-in dressed up as Dr. Doom while he was reading his lines off camera. And then they realized 3 weeks in that it wasn't working. So now he wants to put the thing on. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if they backed up the Brinks truck for this motherfucker to come back and do this movie, you need to be in that costume. I don't give a good goddamn. You're going to be hot up in this costume. You're going to have to sweat out your perm in this costume, and you're going to deliver them lines with this mask on. Because there's no way in hell that I'm going to be paying you over $100 million to come back to play this new character because we so desperate for a hit over here at Disney, and you reading your lines off camera while you have to stand in dressed. No. And they're allowing this? Okay. And y'all wonder why y'all in the shitter when it comes to trying to pay back when y'all trying to recoup all this money at the box office. So yeah, I basically ask all of y'all, what do you think of this story? What do you think that people need to do, or Disney needs to do, to get young men in the theater to see their movies? Because I know some people try to use woke and all this other stuff, and here's the thing, I'm all for diversity in movies or whatever. You can do a movie where there's a female lead. Stop remaking these animated films. We don't need a live action Snow White. We don't need a live action Sleeping Beauty. We don't need stop remaking a lot of the old classics and come up with an original, interesting idea. And if you want to come out and have like a Native American as a lead, if you want to have a young girl as a lead, if you want to have any kind of diversity, nobody's hating on that. I'm not hating on that. I welcome it if it's good and it doesn't feel performative and y'all trying to tick off a box. But also just don't neglect the males out there. Their young boys want to see some kind of representation on the screen as well. So that's something I think they need to work on, or maybe talk to some. Why don't y'all just bring like a bunch of young men in a room and pick their brain and figure out what it is that they need? Because a lot of y'all running around acting like y'all know what people want, and a lot of times y'all don't. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. You said, uh-uh. I was like, why did it say reload? I heard Gaga block MSG parking lot as it's being filmed for the VMA's performance. When, today? Oh, well, when I go down there, I'll let y'all know if it's true. So she probably is gonna do a little performance or something out there and put it on and it'll be just like pre-recorded and they'll put up there. Y'all won't know if it's actually, but um we do have a little parking spot where like the cars come in and out, the trucks and everything come in and out. And then, cause that's usually like the same area that I walk down when I'm going to work, because the side where a lot of the employees have to come in is in that parking lot area. So to believe it, but I'll let you know when I go down there if she did block it off. I would love for you to check out Perez Hilton's recent thumbnails. They really make a difference. Bold, bright titles, continuous colors, also trigger algorithms. Now, check this out. We said in Reddit, the men said, teens said, hot girls action and some stupid PG-13 is that easy, but they feel we all want to be Iron Man. A lot of us like Captain Jack Sparrow, James Bond, that had, you said Hollywood hasn't really been made on heroes in tights. YouTube is issuing discounts on premium versions. This is after the controversy of verification and censorship. As a premium subscriber, you haven't gotten demoted to Kids YouTube, but I'm told premium users is not getting avoided because you're paying for no ads. I have been tempted to get the whole YouTube premium thing because I'm tired of sitting through ads. Like, I'm getting more and more annoyed. I mean, it's not that expensive. It says, because I still got the window open. I've had it open for the past couple of days. It said $13.99 a month, but if they bring it down even more, I just might join. It said premium light is $7.99. I would not get that because it doesn't allow all the other stuff. But yeah, $13.99. It says then they got $22.99 for the family plan. That's just for me. $7.99 if you're a student. But and then like the first month is free. So I'm thinking that, I'll look into it, and because more than likely I probably will end up getting it. Wait, hold on. Because I'm trying to. What's going on? Disney could buy NFL, NBA if they really want to win black men. Oh, sorry, back men my age. I don't watch sports. If I were to go to an ex-fling's frat house, they would be hovered over a TV watching football. Wait, what is Disney owns ESPN, right? So they do. They have their hands in sports. Men are even watching WNBA now because Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese is a big thing for them. A deal man I was with reposted it. Not you, spilling team. Child, you'd be surprised about how many of these boys is deal. There was this one video I was watching with this cute little white boy, and there was a Spanish dude that was behind him in sweats, and he was like jumping up and down and like humping the air. As you know, they call it dworking, which had me cackling. Dworking is basically when you make your dick twerk. I was like, when y'all, the stuff y'all be coming up with, and they were saying that I caught on that because apparently Bad Bunny's been doing that a lot at his shows where he's been dworking. So there was this boy that was behind, and the boy was looking like had his finger in his mouth, was looking back. I was like, he want that meat. And he was with his boys. I was like, you'd be surprised how many young boys out here be in the closet and low key they like sports and shit, but oh, they want to get dick down. I see it all the time. Hot chicks equals Jennifer. Oh, I love Jennifer's body. Was targeted towards a male audience, and Sydney Sweeney is a walking doll for them. Action equals Marvel, DC, PG-13 humor, the Minecraft and Minions movie. I don't hear that many men my age talk about Jack Sparrow or Bond. Unless, first of all, a lot of that IP is old, and they keep looking into the past at what was popular pre-COVID. And I think the industry needs to understand that the pre-COVID days of box office and all that stuff is dead. It's not around anymore. It no longer exists. So y'all need to really get out of that mindset. Because it's like, I don't know if people care about Jack Sparrow anymore. Who cares about Pirates of the damn Caribbean? That was like the 2000s. And yeah, Bond been around since before I was born. The freaking 60s. But we'll see if we'll see when they reboot the franchise if people care. All right, so now let's get into this Katy Perry story because this mama seems to be going through it, especially because we just heard that her tour is about to end, but apparently Miss Mamas is going through it with this court battle over this house that she owns or is trying to own. I don't know if she owns it or not, trying to own it, but let's get into the story and see what they're saying. So it says, Katy Perry got off to a rocky start on the first day of her real estate trial on Thursday after the judge blasted her lawyers for trying to ambush his courtroom with a surprise video appearance by the pop superstar, saying it's outrageous, it's not nice, it's unfair. This is what this LA Superior Court Judge Joseph Lipner on day one of the bitter damages trial in which the singer, who's 40, is seeking millions from 85-year-old dying veteran Carl Westcott over repairs and back rent on a $15 million Montecito mansion she bought from him 5 years ago. The judge's tirade came after Westcott's attorney Andrew Thomas revealed that Perry's legal team had only informed him the day earlier that the singer, who is currently on tour, would only be available to testify at 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, saying, I object to that because it's undue surprise. This is what Thomas told the court. I am not prepared yet to question Ms. Hudson. Perry's lawyers asked for her to be referred to by her real name, which is Catherine Hudson, saying, I intend to put on a case in which I will call Ms. Hudson in a certain order, and that was not going to be today. It would be extremely prejudicial for her to testify today. But I'm hearing, if I go back up, it says that she's going to take the stand on August 26th. So that's next week. And hopefully I'll be around to be able to talk about that story. But next week, I think I'm working like literally every day. So I'm going to try to get that story out. Now, Perry's attorney, Eric Rowan, accused Westcott's lawyers of targeting her and creating a media circus, saying she has nothing to do with the damages part of this case. Now, but Judge Lipner sided with Thomas, accusing Perry's legal squad of unfair tactics that he said reflect badly on them and Ms. Hudson, which I wouldn't be surprised because hasn't she been notorious of doing shady things, especially what the accusation is regarding this whole house situation. And then remember when there was another house she was trying to buy, I think it was like where a bunch of nuns lived and the woman had a heart attack and died. So they said Westcott, who suffers from an incurable brain disorder, agreed to sell his 1930s estate in star-studded Montecito to Perry in 2020 for $15 million in cash. And my thing is, if you got issues with your brain, clearly he's not thinking clearly. So you doing that, it just felt like it was what people are going to say is you took advantage of a man who was in a vulnerable state and really wasn't of sound in mind when he sold you that house. So Katy and Orlando wrote the following. They said, we are writing this letter to you to express our appreciation in regard to your agreement to sell your property to us and to communicate our joy at being able to call it our home. Well, now that you're broken up, then it is your home. Now, as you know, we are expecting a baby next month and know that this will be the best place to bring her home and to raise her in. Though there were other properties that did interest us, yours will provide us with the comfort of security, privacy, and safety. These are details. These three details are the utmost importance to us and the reason we are willing to pay a premium and move forward on your property specifically. This home will be a respite, one where we will be able to grow together as a family. We have gone through some challenges in the past week. Our beloved dog Mighty passed away. With such devastating news, being the lucky people to purchase your home is a shining light to help us get through such a difficult time. We hope you can appreciate that you are turning your home over to a very loving couple who are expecting their first baby and have nothing but joy at the thought of making their life and future memories there. So that was the big story. I mean, what they wrote to him. Now, they said just days later, he tried to back out of the deal, claiming he was under the influence of painkillers when he signed. But Perry and her now ex-fiance, Orlando Bloom, fought him, insisting that they want to keep the 9,000 square foot home and use it to raise their daughter, Daisy, who will turn 5 on Tuesday, the day her mother testifies. Well, that's got to suck. You got to spend your daughter's birthday in court. Westcott used to get the sales contract avoided, but after a nearly 4-year court battle, the famous pair won their case to keep their giant property 100 miles north of LA, where other celebrity residents include Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Oprah Winfrey, Ariana Grande, and Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, soon after winning the keys, to the 9,000 square foot house, the singer went back to court again, this time seeking $6 million from Westcott, claiming nearly $2.5 million in damages to the sprawling 2.5 acre property and the $3.5 million in back rent she could have charged during her long legal fight. On Thursday, Perry's attorney said that they were reducing the damage claim to $1.3 million, knocking $1.2 off the bill. Perry, who was also trying to force Westcott to pay her estimated $3 million legal fees, has come under fire from his family members for going after their ailing patriarch. They say they are outraged by the greed of the pop star, estimated to be worth $350 million, and have slammed the Hollywood elite system that they say allows celebrities like her to treat ordinary people like dirt. And they're saying it's entitled celebrity behavior. Call's son Chart Westcott, who's 39, said she has no sense of fair play, no empathy, zero empathy, quite the opposite. Chart said that it was a miracle that his bedridden father, who is in a horrible condition as he receives hospice care for Huntington's disease, has survived longer than we ever expected. He probably going to hold on until this case is wrapped up, and then he probably going to be like, okay, I'm ready to go. Because a lot of people like that. Remember Ozzy Osbourne? Like, he was going through some things. It was like as soon as they did that tribute concert to him, then it was like shortly after he left the earth. He was like, okay, I'm ready. They said, and he bitterly disputes the millions Perry is demanding for lost rental income and repairs to the estate, which boasts a tennis court, 2 guest houses, and a pool. The damages he is seeking is absolutely egregious, said Chart, whose brother Court, Jesus, Court and Chart, these names, yeah. So his brother Court is actually married to Real Housewives of Dallas star Cameron Westcott. They said there's no real explanation other than greed. This is such a small deal to be worried about. I think it's a matter of privilege. So basically what they want is that they feel like, girl, you are worth $350 million. You have enough money in the bank. This is just a small drop in the well. My father is sick. He wasn't of sound mind when the contracts and everything was going through. You should let it go. And this is why it's like, if I just wish that, well, I shouldn't say I wish, because I don't know, but I am curious if did the siblings even know what their father was doing, if he was trying to sell the house or anything, and if it was up on the market, whatever the case was? Because if that was the case, me personally, if I know my father's going through some stuff and he's sick or whatever and trying to sell his place or whatever the case is, I would be hands-on with the situation. Be like, okay, what's going on? Why are we selling the house? Who you trying to sell it to, if there was some type of contractual agreements. And this is why this thing is in court, so that way they have to decide what's going on, because you're saying she's heartless, and in so many ways, there's been stories about Katy Perry being a heartless, see you next Tuesday, and that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But this is up for the courts to figure out what they need to do in this whole situation. So I'll definitely be keeping abreast of this story as it continues, because it's really heating up and it's really juicy, and the sons are really going in and letting have on her, and I hope they're able to work it out. But we'll have to just. And I also wonder, has she even been living in the house since then? Because I don't think the story basically stated if he's in the house or if she's living in the house, because they're saying that the mansion fell into disrepair during their long running legal debacle. So I guess because the drama that's going on, nobody's moved into the house yet, so the house needs upkeep, and it hasn't been up and it hasn't been kept up. Because they're saying Bernie Goodvie, Perry's manager, agreed to pay Westcott $3,750,000 more than he had just bought it for. So I'll definitely keep abreast of this story as it develops, but I want to hear from y'all. What do you think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. I think it's time to retire the lips. Or not lips, the IPs. Maybe Gen Z wants to go to the movies, but it's franchises before they're born, and Netflix has shows aimed. Streaming, I feel like streaming and everything has changed the way people watch movies. I think at the end of the day, people need to realize if people are going to go to the movies, they will find a way to go to the movies. It's like with me. If I want to see something, trust and believe, I will move heaven and earth and find a way to go see that movie. That's kind of like when people are looking at it now. Oh, it was a mistake to put Superman out so early. Superman's doing well digitally, so it's still making its money. I mean, it's not going to hit $700 million. It's finally crossed over to 600 million. It's doing well on streaming or digital purchase, because if you want to buy it, it's $30. I think if you want to rent it, it's $25. So with that high price, they're gonna make that money. I just saw that they put out the final reckoning of Mission Impossible, which there's only 2 sequels in that movie that are actually good. Other than that, I was relatively disappointed with the last Mission Impossible. The submarine sequence and the plane sequence, those are like the best parts of that damn movie. Other than that, I was just like, okay, this movie is too damn long. 33 hours for no reason. But I do feel like they need to figure out what's going on and how to get butts in seats. But there hasn't really been, I mean, there's been like newer IPs that have been exciting. Weapons has got people excited. I saw that Variety did a early Oscar predictions list. I thought about doing that, but I was like, no, I'm gonna just wait until they officially release the list of Oscar nominations, because there's so many movies they got on that list that haven't been released yet. Like Frankenstein with Jacob Elordi. I heard they're gonna put that in the movies for 3 weeks before it comes on Netflix. I'm actually gonna go to the movies and see that, because I want to see that on the big screen. And I like Jacob Elordi and I like Oscar Isaac, so I'm gonna go check that. And I'm a Guillermo del Toro fan. So they've got to figure out something. Yeah, another horrific case of greed. And this is why I think a lot of people always feel like Miss Hudson is out of touch. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. Moving out of my hair when you walk around. Y'all know that song? Now, speaking of people out of touch, it's getting the Ku Klux Khaleesi, who got herself a new damn job, a new gig. She out here acting. They was like, child, whoever's about to direct this movie, good luck. I hope you got an ironclad contract making sure that nobody can come in and try to interfere and take over your damn movie. So, good luck, babe, to whoever is directing her next film, because Blake Lively, aka Ku Klux Khaleesi, aka Subpoena Serena, has announced her next film project. Now, Lively was roasted on social media by Justin Baldoni fans after she was announced to star in, and oh Jesus, she's producing it too, the forthcoming rom-com, The Survival List. Jesus. Well, good luck to whoever's going to be in this movie, because they're going to have to come out with a surviving Blake. I would not be surprised if they ended up doing that. So now Thursday's casting announcement came amid Lively and Baldoni's heated legal dispute over their time working on the 2024 film It Ends With Us, prompting some to already call for a boycott of her new project. Someone said, quote, good luck to the director dealing with her drama, one netizen commented on Deadline's Instagram post, referencing Baldoni's previous directorial role alongside the actress. Another person said, I thought the survival list was the IMDb's of other actors she's been in movies with. Oh, y'all are shady, but I'm living for the reads. Meanwhile, another person made a pointed comment regarding Lively's estrangement from former BFF Taylor Swift, who allowed her song My Tears Ricochet to be used in It Ends With Us, saying this movie is not getting Taylor's music. And another rumors that people are saying, like, there is a song towards Blake Lively on the new album. I don't know if that's true, but you know how the Swifties are. They be over here always trying to look and see if there's double entendres, codes, secrets, little meanings behind things. And apparently they think that the song The Fate of Ophelia might be about Blake Lively because there was a movie back in the day that Blake Lively was in where she played Ophelia. I'm like, y'all reading a little too much in it. Until we hear the album and we read them lyrics and all that other stuff, let's not make assumptions. But that's what the Swifties like. They love getting all up caught up in that. So now, she did get some support though. So we're not only gonna go and read the shady comments. There were some people that actually was Team Blake in this situation because we like to be fair and balanced on the show. One person said, "You go, girl. You have a lot of fans and believers." A lot. I would say like a future. I don't know about a lot. So yeah, she said, you have a lot of fans and believers, and anyone else who wants to come after me, you could just take a hike because I have a right to like her and believe her as much as you have the right to dislike her and not believe her. And you're right. You have a right to believe her, and everybody always be trying to come in with that, like, and go take a hike, or as I like to tell you, go, and go argue with your mammy. That's my line. When people be trying to come for me with stuff, and I'll be on the island by myself, I was like, go argue with your mammy because nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. So, if I'm gonna like her, I'm gonna like her, even though y'all already know how I feel about Ku Klux Khaleesi. We don't like her over here because some of her that entitlement and the fact that she was going after people in my neck of the woods, podcasters and YouTubers and things of that nature and TikTokers who sit and talk about whatever stuff is regarding her, like getting mad at us because we're reporting stories that's out here regarding her. It's like, sis, if you in the news, I don't care if it was you or Sydney Sweeney or any other random blonde broad. If y'all do something, we're going to talk about it. And you can't get mad at us because the news and the stuff is out there and people are doing deep dives. Shout out to all of y'all that do deeper dives than me when it comes to these stories. I just react based off of the type of story that's out there. But the people that go and pull up the legal stuff and do the deep dives on that and be doing that hardcore homework, shout out to y'all. So they said the forthcoming project will follow highbrow reality TV producer Annie, played by Lively, who gets assigned to a new show hosted by famous survival expert Chopper Lane against her wishes. However, when a shipwreck lands them on a deserted island, can you imagine this? This movie gonna come out and turn into Swept Away, like with Madonna and Guy Ritchie. Annie discovers Chopper is a fraud who knows nothing about survival, leaving her in charge of figuring out how to keep them alive. Forced to work together, they begin to discover an unlikely chemistry. The description reads, well, this actually sounds like an interesting concept, and I think that we do need some rom-coms out there again. I would have expected Jennifer Lopez to be up in either, because, she's the queen of the rom-coms at this point. And wasn't she in romantic comedy? It Ends With Us, and we already saw how that movie turned out. So I don't know if this is a good idea. So yeah, it goes deep into this is the first project since she launched her lawsuit against Baldoni and all the drama that's going on with that. She's still in the throes of all of that. That's that whole trial is set to kick off in 2026. But yeah, so that's the latest news on Miss Lively. So I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Any of y'all gonna go see this movie when it come out? Oh, excuse me. Wow. Damn thing keeps falling out. Okay. Hello, hello. Okay, we back. Oh, my mic is giving me so much drama today, but we powering through this show, Chad. Okay, so I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding this whole thing. Are y'all gonna go see this movie when it comes out, or are people just like forever gonna boycott Fake Lively, aka Ku Klux Khaleesi, aka Subpoena Serena? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, it all depends. And child, it all depends on who's gonna be her male co-star. Because I'd be definitely curious to be like, okay, Justin Baldoni went through his mess. I don't know if there's been many of male co-stars of hers, former male co-stars, who have come out and said some things about what it was like working with her. So at this point, she's really got to, with all eyes on her, I would hope that she would get to a place where she would be careful with um how she's perceived and how people are looking at her in a lot of this regard. So she's got to be definitely real careful in that whole situation, because the way people are talking right now is like all eyes is going to be on you. And people are going to be wanting to hear Tia like, okay, was she being a difficult person on set and all that other stuff? So, girl, all eyes is on you. I hope you realize that. But, she be in her delusions. So maybe she doesn't care. All right. And look, we can't help that Ryan be insecure. But anyway, let's move on to our final topic and let's get into this drag race news. So, one of the, Drag Race, love it or hate it, it is one of the most popular shows on TV. It is a well-oiled machine. It is a well-produced machine. I know we get mad over the fact that how they overproduce the thing, but Drag Race is no longer the Drag Race that, that underground little thing anymore. It's a worldwide phenomenon. It is a well-produced, some would say overproduced machine, and it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to everybody. The gays, the straights, that like to watch it, and everybody in between. But when it comes down to the show, one of the things I think people have been relatively curious about is, how is the source made? How do they put together the cast? How do they come up with looking for the type of people that they look for on the show? So there's a woman who has worked on the show. What's her name? Golika Bolti is her name. And she's the most Emmy-nominated casting director for unscripted programming in TV history. She's been nominated every year since the reality TV casting category was created in 2017, and won twice for her work on the drag queen reality competition, RuPaul's Drag Race. She's up for an Emmy again this year for her work on the show. And also, I want to point out, RuPaul is, I believe, one of the most nominated hosts in TV history. So him being in that position, that's iconic as well. So I happen to go on the tab and a bunch of other places where, all this information was gathered. But she went on a podcast recently, and Bolty, to reveal how she goes into making the decisions into who gets cast on the show. And she admits the team actually uses Reddit to help inform their choices. Now, Golika Bolti is officially the most Emmy Award nominated casting director in history when it comes to reality TV, and has been nominated every single year since that category was created. She's worked on all different types of shows, including The Real Housewives, but she said she's most proud of her work casting RuPaul's Drag Race. She just sat down with LAist on and I got my information from them too. So the tab and LAist on a podcast to reveal how the team goes about picking what queens to audition for Drag Race from a casting directors in. She said, Drag Race, I'm based in LA. I do try to take in drag shows as much as I can when I travel, but a lot of it is online. We look at all the different drag bars and places where they're performing. We look at YouTube. You know, the OG queens still got a lot of these great Facebook accounts going. We look at TikTok. We look at Instagram, anywhere online. We look at Reddit. We see you guys. The Reddit threads for Drag Race are something else. Everyone is always sleuthing and everyone is figuring out where we're going to cast. Everyone's always putting out their dream list. I love these. Redditors, please keep sending those. So they look, y'all be thinking that they're not paying attention, but they, you know, these cast people, they see everything everywhere. And you're making the job easy for them when y'all are out here making recommendations for certain queens they need to be looking into. She said, we're always looking through them. We're basically just like stalking drag queens in whatever way we can, and we're getting recommendations. We're going down the rabbit hole looking at different drag families and who's performing at different drag bars, who's got a regular show. It's a lot of searching because we want to make sure we get a lot of diversity. We have drag queens from around the country, and we're looking at all different types of drag, so we can't just cast from one city. This, of course, is very validating for Reddit, who has such a dedicated community of drag fans, although most of them are now wondering why the hell Dita Ritz hasn't been cast when she's been on every single fan Dreamcast list since the dawn of time. Well, one of the things I was like, yeah, I would love to see Dita Ritz back on TV. So if they could find a way to work that out, in my opinion, that would be awesome. So get to that, please. Now, they also went on to say that the queens have to be multi-talented. And yes, that includes knowing how to sew. Because, you know, that has always been the overall complaint about Drag Race. They'd be like, it's literally 18 seasons. How the hell do y'all not know how to sew? But my thing is, if you don't know how to sew still, or do y'all be lying when y'all say y'all know how to sew when y'all don't? How do they still get cast on the show? Unless you already know, like, okay, we're going to put you in this situation because it makes for good TV, that you said you know how to sew, you're not that good of a sewer, but we're just going to put you on to see if you can actually, you know, work a fashion challenge. So Volti said a queen needs to be able to do so much more than just slay. Jesus Christ, this thing is going to keep falling out. Yeah, we're gonna. Thank God it's the last topic because you know mic issues. I definitely got to get me a brand new mic as soon as I'm done with the show. But he said a queen needs to be able to do so much more than just slay a stage. A lot of people will see queens perform in their local bars and they're like, oh my God, she needs to be on the show. But you don't know if a queen can act, if she can make any of her costumes, if she could do characters, if she could do snatch game, pick up choreography, all of it. And the queens that you see on the show have so much talent. So in this audition tape that we get from them, we see their acting ability, we see their comedic chops, we see them do the lip syncs. Yeah, because as many a times as I have seen a lot of the queens is as I've seen their audition tapes, like when I've known people who have actually put together some of the girls' audition tapes and stuff, and they've seen it. Like I've seen Miss Cracker's tape. There was another queen who didn't make it on the show. She was on Legendary, actually. She auditioned to be on season 18, didn't get on. But I think it's from the House of Tishi, if I'm not mistaken. So when I would see some of their audition tapes and all this other stuff, yeah, they ask for all of those things, but people need to realize there are girls who are good at being a drag performer in the club, and there are those who are good at Drag Race. And what people need to realize is when you are on a show called Drag Race, yeah, it's a reality TV competition. It's not real life drag. So you have to be able to do all the things that RuPaul has done in her career. And they're trying to see if you can do all of that. And they put basically all the things that RuPaul has done in her career in TV form. Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you act? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it was like, oh, that rhyme. I don't poet, I know it. And that's all the things RuPaul was doing. Now, she wasn't necessarily making her clothes, but the show initially, remember, it started out as a cross between America's Next Top Model and Project Runway. And then it just became something else. So yeah, the sewing challenges and all that stuff was added in. And yes, there are drag queens out there who make their clothes. Hence why we see currently Ethan, aka Utica Queen is on Project Runway. So there are people out there that make clothes. Like I remember before Yuhua went on Drag Race, she was she was a seamstress. She had she was making clothes and things of that nature. I think she probably still does. So so they incorporate a lot of that into the show. So all of that comes into, the whole thing. So they said, and then the person that's interviewing her, Antonia, asked how important is the sewing aspect, and then Golika said, I think that for any comparison, the more well-rounded your skills are, the better. If you want to be on Drag Race, at some point there's going to be a sewing challenge. Get working on those glue gun skills. Well, I think it should be more than just working with a glue gun. Then they also said that they do watch thousands of submissions a year in their pajamas. So she said, we get thousands of submissions every year, and we have a very small team. So we spend a lot of time poring over all those applications. And then inevitably the tapes all kind of come in at once. And I'm like, you've had 8 weeks. Get the tape in before the deadline if it's ready, but I understand everybody wants to make it perfect. So our last week of casting, we are just back to back going through all these tapes, cross-eyed in our pajamas. I don't plan anything socially during that time. We got to buckle down because we got to watch every single one of them. And then contrary to popular belief, they said they don't initially set out to look for a villain of the show. I just think that it just so happens that once they get on the show, it just becomes that. So Golika said, we don't really ever cast for a villain. I'm never looking for a villain. And then Antonia was like, really? And she was like, never. They cast themselves as the villain. I actually think because our message on the show really overall is about love, inclusivity, loving yourself, those beautiful workroom moments and all of that. I think that when you get the villain arc, a lot of times it's a queen who had some growth to do. I think she has meant some growing. She's not a true villain. It's a queen who had a growth story, and it usually comes through that there's a great realization and lesson to it. And last but certainly not least, I know a lot of people tend to think that it is about the social media following, that you got to have like 1 million followers in order to get on Drag Race. But I could tell you, there's girls who don't have the most social media followers, but once they get on the show, their audience grows. So you don't have to have 100,000 or 1 million followers. You don't need to be Plastic Tiara level or Trixie Mattel's level in order to get on the show. So she said, we don't care about the following at all. I don't care if you have no followers. The one thing I would say is because we do so much of our scouting virtually, it helps if you at least have a social media page so that we can find you. If you want to be on the show, make it easy for us to find you. But we're not doing any kind of calculation like, oh, this person has a big TikTok following, let's put them on the show. We really want to find the person that is talented, has a story to tell, and is doing drag in a fun, fresh, unique way. So that's basically what she said on that. So for those of you who are interested in getting on Drag Race in the future, they've already done season 18. I don't remember if they started casting for season 19 yet, but I would not be surprised if season 19 is literally around the corner, because I know usually once we get to the end of the year and they start making the announcement about season 18 on who's the official queens on the show, then they start putting out the thing for this if you want to audition for season 19 and do that. So if you are interested in going on RuPaul's Drag Race in any future seasons and this, that, and the other, now you know that what an actual casting director, Golika, as you can see in the picture, what she's looking for and what many of her small team is looking for when they're casting for the show. So shout out to y'all over there. So I want to say all of this to you. What do you guys think of this story regarding Golika, one of the casting directors, revealing how they go about looking for queens to put on the show? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Dita Ritz is not getting cast at All Stars yet. It's definitely a personal thing at this point. Either they don't want her to come back or Dita keeps declining the offer. That's a good question. I think what they need to do is get Dita over there on what's that damn show? Get her on Roscoe's and ask her what's the tea. Are you not interested in getting on the show or no? I want to know. Also, it seemed like Green Gate lied about All Winners 2 being filmed this year. I haven't heard anything about that. Green Gate's child, I don't really be watching that channel like that. Like, it depends on whatever pops up in my algorithm and whatever he talks about, but I'm just like, it just be a bunch of BS. Kind of like the other one, that little British Queen one, things in drama or whatever. He goes like a whole recap. I'm like, if I want a full recap of what happened on a show or whatever, I can just watch the show. Because literally, you going word for word what you be recapping. So you're not recapping. You think because you got a British accent, it makes it more palatable. It's like, sis, no, I'm not sitting through that. I'm bored. So, you know who I miss that used to do a lot of the drag race stuff? Remember Jake Yonsei? I miss Jake Yonsei. I know he done moved on to other things, but Jake Yonsei used to give me my life in regards to like his drag race recaps. Drag race casting is still quite ageist. The best queens are the ones who have paid their due. Exactly. And I miss those days, but we all know like the drag race fandom has changed. Like the way that we take in the show, it's changed drastically. So I do miss the days where it was like, yeah, in order to get on these shows, you had to pound the pavement. A lot of the girls that ended up going on Drag Race, from Bob the Drag Queen, the Miss Cracker, to Alexis Michelle, Bianca Del Rio. Like I remember going and seeing these girls in, you know, at their shows and knowing people who knew them and all the other stuff. And Honey Davenport, me knowing her for years before she went on the show. And I was like, oh, you about to eat it up. And then she did the show. I'm like, girl, what happened? It was like, yeah, it didn't work out the way it should have been. Because I was like, first of all, we all know, like, if you ever seen Honey perform, Honey eats. But when she got on the show, it was like, you got swallowed up. Swallowed. And so sometimes a lot of the girls, they're good at being drag queens, but when they get on Drag Race, it's a whole different animal. So, but I do agree the whole ages thing. I do feel like, because that was one of the complaints that they brought up about the show, that y'all kind of need to get back to mixing it up. They felt last season was a little too young leaning. Season 17, I do agree. It was a lot of babies on that show. A lot of drag babies, a lot of, well, I guess that's a perfect term, drag babies, because they're children of someone who's already been on the show. So y'all just, people, I just started doing drag 9 months ago. I started doing drag 2 years ago. Okay. And we had Anya Nerve that did drag for 3 years before she won, but she definitely looked like she was polished. So it doesn't matter the years. Like if you've done it like maybe 5 years, 3 years, if you already know yourself assured of who you are as a drag queen, you polished or whatever, then that's great. But if you like one of them new girls that just started like a week ago and you think you gonna win a show, I'm looking at you like, really? So I do think that y'all need to mix it up. We need a little bit more oh my God, Nicole Page Brooks. We need somebody from that, like that's been doing it about as long as a Nicole Page Brooks, mixing it up with a lot of these new kids. So that's what I want from Drag Race. We got to mix it up. We need older queens versus the newbies. And I don't know if you need to do it as an All Stars thing, but I would want it as a regular season. He said, "I'm not a spoilerina." So I don't go through the Reddit threads. Yeah, that's the one thing I always try to avoid Reddit, because Reddit, there's always kind of spoilers and stuff when they about stuff. And so I always try to, depending on the topic, I try to avoid a lot of the spoilers. I like to wait until the show comes out and then react to the stuff that's happening there. Or when I have a friend of mine who has the inside tea, he be telling me some stuff. A lot of the older queens don't like the edit or social media backlash, especially queens of color. Yeah, and there's also that bias too, that people need to realize that white queens are treated relatively different than black queens. Like black queens have to work 10 times as hard to get the respect from a lot of the Drag Race viewers, whereas the white girls could give the bare damn minimum and y'all eat it up. Because they pretty, because you like their clothes, because you like the shiny, pretty little thing that's walking down the runway. It's like, okay. That goes to show, tell me you know nothing about drag by that type of whole situation, or never been to a drag club or a bar. But anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. We at the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in to the latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'm going to try to come on Sunday and do a show because, tomorrow I'm busy again. all next week. I just realized, look at my schedule. I think I'm working 7 days straight. Lord, give me strength. There's a lot of shows next week, a lot of events. So, and this is always the crazy week because between Citi Field, the US Open, Gaga, Yankees, is a bunch of New York about to be busy. So, I'm gonna try to see if I can squeeze in shows when I can. I'm definitely, as soon as I get over this day, I gotta order a new damn mic because I'm irritated that this mic stopped working. And I'm like basically using like hot glue and duct tape to keep this mic working. So we powered through. We made it through. I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. So I want to thank y'all all for tuning in. Let me go head to the gym. Then right after, I got to go ahead and do this mayhem ball. I'll come on Sunday and let y'all know how I was with my new mic. So love you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in and all that good stuff. And till next time, ciao, darlings.